You have a discovery call booked for tomorrow morning, a company you've been trying to get in front of for 3 months. And right now, you have 45 minutes before your next internal meeting, a half-eaten lunch on your desk, and a LinkedIn profile open on your screen that's telling you absolutely nothing useful. Most sales reps walk into that call having Googled the company name, skimmed the About page, and maybe read one press release from 8 months ago. The prospect knows it within the first 2 minutes, and that's usually when they get distracted and start checking their phone. What I'm going to show you today is a 2-step AI workflow that solves both problems most sales reps have before a meeting. Step 1 builds you a board-level account brief on any prospect in under 4 minutes. Step 2 takes that brief and tells you exactly what to say when you walk in the room. 2 tools, 2 prompts completely ready before your next call. A few months ago, an account executive I know was prepping for a cold discovery call with a logistics company she'd never spoken to before. She ran this exact 2-step workflow the morning of the call. 40 minutes later, she opened the meeting by referencing a supply chain restructuring initiative the CEO had mentioned in an investor call 2 weeks earlier, something the prospect's own internal sales team hadn't been briefed on yet. The prospect stopped her mid-sentence and said, "How do you know about that?" She had a second meeting booked before the first one ended. Here's the system she used. Here's what's actually happening when most sales reps prepare for a meeting. They spend somewhere between 20 minutes and an hour pulling together scattered pieces of information. The company website, a news article, the prospect's LinkedIn, maybe a Glassdoor review if they're thorough. And at the end of that process, they have surface-level information the prospect assumes they already have. 2 hours per meeting, and the output is still mostly generic. The company's mission statement, a funding round from 18 months ago, a LinkedIn headline. But there are actually 2 separate problems here that most sales reps treat as one. The first is the research problem, finding what's actually happening inside the business right now at the level that matters. The second is the translation problem, knowing how to take that research and turn it into an opening that makes the prospect lean forward instead of lean back. Most AI tutorials solve the first problem and leave you to figure out the second on your own. This workflow solves both in sequence before you ever open your calendar. We're using 2 tools today. Perplexity AI for the research. It's a live web intelligence engine that synthesizes information from real sources and shows you exactly where it came from. Free to use. And the Pro version gives you deeper real-time data for around $20 a month. Then ChatGPT to turn that research into a ready-to-use talk track. You don't need a paid account for what we're doing here. The free version handles this prompt comfortably. Let me show you exactly how they work together. I'll show you the process in 2 steps. Step 1. Build the account brief in Perplexity. We are now at perplexity.ai. I'm going to use a real company as the example. Let's say we have a discovery call booked with Grainger, the industrial supply company, and we're meeting their VP of operations. I'm going straight to the search bar and pasting in prompt 1. Take a moment to read the structure. This is what you're copying from the description. And here's what comes back. Watch how structured this is. It's giving me Grainger's current strategic priorities. Right now, they're pushing hard on digital commerce and same-day delivery cost reduction. Both of those are directly in the VP of Operations remit. It's flagging a leadership transition. Their chief supply chain officer changed 6 months ago. A new executive in that role is almost always re-evaluating vendor relationships in their first 12 months. That's a door worth walking through. And here, the pain points specific to this role at this company right now: inventory accuracy and last-mile fulfillment costs. Not generic operations pain, sourced from their actual earnings commentary. Before moving to step 2, always check the sources, Perplexity cites. You can see them listed here under each section. If one of them is a recent earnings call transcript or a CEO interview, open it and skim for one direct quote you can reference in the meeting. A sales rep who says, "I was reading your Q3 earnings transcript and your CEO mentioned X," is in a different category entirely. Now we go to step 2. Build the talk track in ChatGPT. We are on ChatGPT now, new conversation. And this is where the workflow gets interesting. I'm not asking ChatGPT to do more research. I'm giving it the research Perplexity just produced and asking it to tell me exactly what to do with it. Now I'll select the entire Perplexity output and copy it, because this becomes the input for step 2. I'll paste the full prompt in, and you can see the Perplexity brief is embedded right inside it. Three conversation openers, each one referencing something specific from Granger's actual business situation. None of them start with, "So tell me about your business." Each one gives the prospect a reason to engage immediately, because it shows you've already done your homework. One sharp discovery question anchored to their specific priorities. Not a qualification checklist question, a question that invites a real conversation, and a likely early objection with a response. In this case, it's flagging that a VP of operations might push back on switching costs. And it's giving me a credible, non-defensive way to handle it before it even comes up. From opening Perplexity to having a complete brief and a talk track, 4 minutes. That's the complete pre-call system. Think about what just changed for that meeting tomorrow. You're not walking in planning to discover what the prospect cares about during the call. You already know. And you're not hoping an opening question comes to you in the moment. You've already chosen it. You've already thought through their likely objection, and you've already decided how you're going to respond. That's not a small edge. That's the difference between a rep who's reacting and a rep who's leading. When you open a meeting with a question anchored in something real about their business, you stop being a vendor trying to qualify a lead and start being a professional who took their business seriously before asking for their time. That repositioning happens in the first 60 seconds, and it changes the entire conversation that follows. How openly they share information, how much they trust your judgment, and whether they see you as someone worth bringing back. The sales rep who runs this workflow before every significant meeting has a structural preparation advantage over every sales rep who doesn't. Not because they work harder, because they work smarter, consistently, in under 5 minutes. Next episode, I'm showing you how to write the cold email that gets you that meeting in the first place. Specifically, the AI framework that writes a 3-line personalized opener using the prospect's own recent activity as the trigger. The message that makes them think you've been following their business for months before you've ever spoken. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And both prompts from this video are written out in full in the description below. Copy them, save them, and use them before your next call.